We're staying on top of breaking news. If a major power failure isn't fixed in just a couple of hours, parts of downtown Detroit will be sitting in the dark tonight. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephen Clark.
And I'm Diana Lewis. City and federal buildings, Cobo Center, even traffic lights lost electricity when some transmission lines failed. We have a team of Action News reporters staked out downtown, beginning with Cheryl Choden live at City Hall. Cheryl?
Well, Diana, traffic is anything but normal when the power goes out because the traffic lights are out as well, and drivers must know exactly what to do. For example, there's a ball game tonight at Comerica Park, and there will be no traffic lights working around the park. Police will be there directing traffic, but it's a good idea to give yourself some extra time, and you're going to need some extra patience. And if you get to a light where there is no police officer, you need to treat it as a four-way stop. The police right now are doing the absolute best they can. Stoplights are out because of the power problem all over the downtown area. Where traffic is heavy, police are directing. Where it is not as heavy, you need to treat the intersection as a four-way stop. People are trying to be patient.
It happens. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You got to be patient.
That's all you have to do, really. At least they're here. At least they're monitoring it.
Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, you got to treat it as a four-way stop.
Well, that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's in the rule book.
Over at fire headquarters on Washington Boulevard, firefighters were trying to be patient as they worked to power up a huge generator because that building is out as well. And the McNamara Federal Building is another building affected. People left the high-rise building just before 3 when the power went out, and backup power kept one bank of elevators working. Now, all the buildings affected, those are empty right now, but again, like I said, traffic will be picking up because of that ball game tonight. So remember, if you do not see a police officer, treat that stoplight that is out as a four-way stop, and be courteous. As we were coming down here, some people were not taking their turn. You've got to be patient. Reporting live downtown, I'm Cheryl Choden, Channel 7 Action News.
And Tom Lydon just came in and suggested maybe people ought to have flashlights taken with them to the game. Yeah, just in case it's dark on the way home and you can at least see where you are. Okay.
And everyone inside the building when the lights went out had to leave, and for some it was a real test to get down from the upper floors.
Action News reporter Tom White continues our team coverage with that part of the story tonight. Tom?
Yeah, Stephen and Diana, as you know, there are lots of folks in this building in the afternoon. They're in the courthouses. They're also getting some city services, whether that be for their city lights, any sort of permit situation they may be trying to deal with. Hundreds of people in this building. So when the power went out, those folks who have a hard time getting out without the elevator had a very difficult time. A huge response from fire and police after 3 tie lines go down, knocking out power at the city-county building and beyond. The sudden outage temporarily trapped some people in the building.
I was on the 17th floor, and all of the lights and everything went out, and I was trapped because I can't come down the stairs.
Paramedics treated a small number of folks at the scene. This woman's legs got numb as she walked from the Wayne County courts 10 flights up with her husband.
My back went out on the legs. She couldn't feel her legs, and so the officers, I came all the way down eventually, and the officers and the paramedics and stuff went up there to get her.
Overall, the evacuation went smoothly. City workers tell us no one panicked as they filed out of the building.
The emergency lights came on, and then a voice came over the intercom saying that this was an evacuation and not a test. Then everyone proceeded in an orderly fashion down the stairs.
You'll remember this is not the first time the city-county building has gone through something like this. Just a year ago, the mayor's office says they went through a power outage. They had to evacuate everyone. Also, I remember when Kwame Kilpatrick was in office here, they had a big power outage. In fact, smoke was even reported to be coming out of the basement. So a lot of folks dealing with that situation a few years ago. This not nearly as bad because there was no smoke, according to the witnesses we talked to. It was 3 tie lines that went down, according to the mayor's office, and those tie lines affected power not just to the city-county building, as you know, but also to several buildings across the downtown area, including the fire department. As you heard from Cheryl Choden, they're using a generator to power that building right now. So across this whole area, you don't have power in city buildings. However, I'm looking across the street into a residential structure, and it looks like they have electricity. So it's very spotty, but certainly it is a huge impact, especially when you're in this downtown area. So be aware of that. Reporting live downtown, I'm Tom Wade, Channel 7 Action News.
All right, Tom, thank you for the live report.
And Detroit Police Headquarters didn't lose power, but the failure is having an impact on the department in other ways tonight.
Action News reporter Mary Conway joins us now live from 1300 Beaubien. Mary.
Well, Stephen and Diana, yes, it's been very sporadic downtown. For example, here at 1300, they do have power, but just at the other end of the block, the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice is without power. The DPD did bring a lot of its extra power down to try to conserve energy so that they don't exacerbate the crisis.
Everything is working according to our normal protocols. We have no disruption in any of our public safety services. Again, our 911 dispatch center, our communications, all things are working normal.
In your precinct buildings still have power?
Precinct buildings still have power, and they have backup generators through DTE that there's a seamless transition in the event power goes out. We still have some redundancy there also.
And we know that, like, Frank Murphy is without power. But what about the lockups there? Who maintains those? County, city?
Those lockups are maintained by the county, but at this point, we have no communication at all that would indicate that there's any problem relative to housing. Again, everything right now is moving status quo.
And as of right now, the Wayne County Sheriff's Office did not lose power either. They are also conserving energy, trying to help out, but they have power. The jail has power. One note I do want to tell you, if you're headed down to the Tiger game, the People Mover has been shut down as well because of the power outage, and Cobo is closed. Just some things to think about if you're headed to downtown. Reporting live, I'm Mary Conway, Channel 7 Action News.
All right, thank you, Mary.
And the problem all started this afternoon at one of the main power plants in southwest Detroit.
And that's where we find Action News reporter Glenda Lewis. Glenda, what are officials saying about getting the power back on?
Well, this power station here is what they call the central lighting source for the city. And according to the mayor's office, this is where those 3 tie lines failed. 24,000-volt tie lines, we believe. Mayor Dave Bing's chief communications officer, Karen Dumas, says that's what caused the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center, Cobo, the Federal Building, Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, parts of Wayne State, and some of those traffic lights to go down. Dumas gave me a moment by phone to say an excessive use of energy because of all that heat is what made the lines fail. They had seen brownouts and anticipated problems, and they're sure enough that those problems happened. So power could be back on by 10 o'clock tonight, but they say it will be back on within 24 hours. Live here in southwest Detroit, I'm Glenda Lewis. Back to you.
All right, Glenda, thanks a lot for that report.